Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Transparent Physics. And this time we are going to be continuing the Just Data series, as the name implies. This is just data. I'm going to set up a lab for you and conduct it in front of the camera, and then you can collect data and do the analysis in the context, most likely, of a physics class. Today we are going to be looking at period as a function of centripetal force. So the idea is that we're going to have an object spinning around in a circle. I'll show you that in a second. But the centripetal force pulling it towards the center is going to get larger and larger and larger over time while everything else stays the same. And we're going to see what kind of impact increasing centripetal force has on the period of motion. And here we have the lab set up for conducting the centripetal motion lab. And the star of the show is a length of string more than a meter long. On one end of the string we have tied a rubber stopper, and then the string extends for a meter length before it goes through a plastic tube. The plastic tube will be used as a handle. Below the plastic tube is like a little clothespin attachment. Basically that's just there to make sure we're keeping the string at the right length. And at the end of the string is just a paper clip. And the paper clip is going to be used to hold the mass that's going to be pulling down into the center, acting as the centripetal force. And the mass is going to be a series of identical washers. And let's collect a little extra data right now. So here is the mass of the rubber stopper that's spinning. So that's going to be handy a little bit later on. And the measurement of the scale is in grams. And then we're going to take a couple readings for the washers as well. There's up to 20 in the lab. So here's just a couple for you to get a sense for their mass. And then throughout the lab, we're going to add more and more and more washers. And since the washers are pulling down on the string, and the string is pulling inward on the object, that's going to act as the centripetal force. And there we have it. It's a great lab, lots of fun to do if you get the chance to try it on your own. Just a real quick note as you watch me collecting the data for this lab, the most important thing is that we always want it to be just the washers that are pulling down on the string, and the string is what's pulling the rubber stopper around in the circle. There is a little clothespin attachment on the string, and I want you to note when I'm spinning it, I try to keep it just below the handle. If that was to embed in the handle, then it would be the clothespin that's supplying the force on the string, not the washers. So I try to keep it just below that to make sure the washers are what's pulling on the rubber stopper, and we're going to use the washers as the centripetal force. Also note that my right hand is sort of keeping itself around the washers. That's just to keep them from spinning around all kind of wonky. I'm not actually pulling down on the washers with my hand. Again, it is only the washers that are pulling in on the rubber stopper. All right, hope you enjoy the lab. Hey, if you enjoyed seeing a small rubber stopper spin in a circle multiple times, please consider liking the video. If you have any questions about either the way the data was collected or the analysis that you can do with it later, please leave it in the comment field below. And to help the channel grow and find out what's coming next from Transparent Physics, please consider subscribing to the channel. All right then, hey, thanks for watching. That's always a fun lab to do. I hope that in the process of analyzing this data, that circular motion becomes a little clearer for you, thanks to this episode of Transparent Physics.